Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, SRIJAN. How are you, SRIJAN?
I am fine, sir. Thank you.
SRIJAN, where are you speaking from now at present?
Sir, at present I'm in Prayagraj.
Say again?
Prayagraj, sir. Allahabad.
Oh, okay, Prayagraj. That is your home
Yes, sir.
place.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But you are working in Nasik, is it?
Sir, I'm actually, all of our training has been made online. So we were given an option of attending it from home. Plus my father was hospitalized due to COVID. So at present I'm in Allahabad only.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, the training was at, you first went to Vadodara, then to Nasik, is it?
Sir, actually I first reported in Nasik. Then I went to Vadodara for the foundation course. And now I have to go back to Nasik. Now
Nasik,
most of the training is in Nasik.
Nasik is your place of posting?
No, sir, Nasik is our central training institute.
Oh, I see. So it is in addition to Vadodara, you do your central training?
Yeah, yes, sir. So actually in Vadodara, it is the National Academy of Indian Railways,
Right.
where the common courses of all the engineering branches and the civil services branches that are traffic personnel and accounts, these are carried out. But
Okay.
the specialized training institutes, they are scattered. So for electrical, it is in Nasik.
Oh, I see. Okay. But the technical portion you are doing at Nasik, right?
Yes.
You are from Prayagraj. Now,
Yes, sir.
Prayagraj is a new name. What is this due to?
Sorry, sir?
This new name, what is this due to? It was not Prayagraj earlier. Yeah.
Yes.
2 years back, it was not Prayagraj.
Yes, sir.
Suddenly, it became Prayagraj.
Yes, sir. Sir, it was actually, it is earlier name was Prayag. And it is called Prayag Raj because it is considered to be the king of all the Tirth places that are according to the Hindu religion. So it is considered as the king of all those places. So that is why Prayag Raj.
Oh, this Raj got added, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the political significance of this name?
So it's a technical significance.
No, political.
Political significance, as for me, sir, I don't consider it to be political. I just consider it to be more connected to the culture, connected to the history. That's it. From that perspective, is it was renamed to Prayagraj to restore the old legacy that the earlier name was carrying.
But if they start renaming places in India, they may have to rename 50% of the places, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Maybe they'll have to restore, but that depends on the priorities of the government and the cultural heritage that the place has been carrying in the past. So not all must be equally important to change.
But the historians feel that we will be tracing history away, or we will be wiping out history and forgetting history if the names of places are removed or changed. For example, Agra, New Delhi, Kolkata. If you start renaming these places, history also will change. That is what they think. What do you say on that?
So that can be one of the perspective. I would not like to disagree. That can be one of the particular perspective to view at it. But there is other perspective that, for example, Prayag itself was carrying one very prestigious historical background. So its name was changed to Allahabad. That did not mean that the Prayag that was the earlier the region lost its historical significance.
When was that changed to Allahabad?
Sir, actually, the name Allahabad was coined by from the era of Akbar. Akbar changed it to Allahabad. Later, Shah Jahan renamed it to Allahabad. So that change was very recent, but that did not reduce the political significance of Allahabad as what I personally see. The region, the historical significance of the region, and now this step of renaming it Prayagraj, it's just restoring the old legacy. I don't think that it would affect the history down the line very much.
Okay. Now, your father was also in the electrical engineering division in the railways.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to follow the footsteps of your father?
Sir, actually, my father, yes, definitely, my father was a guiding figure for me throughout my bringing and brought up phase that I have been through, because of his sincerity, because of his hard work, and obviously it reflected in my career as well, because he was an electrical engineer in Indian Railways, and so I preferred engineering service examination. I appeared for it, but my personal ambitions were beyond it. I wanted to always appear for the civil service examinations, and as my optional was also electrical engineering, so I found it very useful in appearing for the engineering service examination, and that was where my first step were to stabilize a career and then carry forward for the civil service examination, considering that the civil service examination is one of the toughest examination of the country. So that is how I see this.
Okay. See, instead of the diesel cars and the petrol cars, now we are switching over to electric cars.
Yes, sir.
Is any such technological change taking place in the railways?
Sir, similar on the lines of the technology, we have been switching from the steam engine to diesel engine, and then from diesel engine to electric engine in the railways as well. Earlier, the AC locomotives also have gone transformation. Earlier, we had DC traction, DC motors. Now we are having AC motors in the AC locomotives, which help in regenerating. So more promising energy efficient results. So that is I think the equivalent transformation for the future. What I know, that Germany has tested the hydrogen fuel cell based trains, so that can be one of the future revolutions as well as in India.
How about solar energy application in the railways?
Sir, railways has performed to some extent in providing the rooftop solar energy in the offices. Also, we have certain land that had been lying vacant from the many years. So we had leased out to the private entities which have set up their solar power plants on that. I'm not able to recollect the exact place, but it is somewhere in Madhya Pradesh. So we have given the land on lease, and instead the private player has set up the solar power plant. They are generating electricity and selling it to the railways. So that is both beneficial for the private entity as well as for the railway, as we are getting cheap electricity and more cleaner energy, cleaner source of electrical energy.
You studied in Indian School of Mines at Dhanbad, and
Yes, sir.
4 year program.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any opportunity to visit any of the mines?
No, sir. Sorry, I did not had any opportunity to visit the mines.
Did they not take you on a tour outside anywhere when you were studying in that 4 years program?
Sir,
Any industrial tour or?
Sir, we were taken on a tour to the DVC project that was near to our college, but not to any mines as such.
How deep do you think those mines are? In and around Dhanbad, Asansol, you have the coal mines. How deep do you think they may be going?
Sir, sorry, sir. I don't have the exact idea.
Now, when you were writing about your scholarships, medals, prizes, you have written All India rank 3, All India rank 20.
Yes.
Why did you write that? Did someone tell you that in your DAF you have to mention that?
Sir, actually, I was not guided by anyone while performing, while filling this particular entry.
Okay.
But since it was written prizes, medals, scholarship, etc., so I considered it to be academic achievements that you have received in the course of education. Therefore, I wrote the entry of the ranks that I got.
But they don't give any prize, they don't give any medal, they don't give any scholarship when you score All India rank in that examination.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. But
quite likely they may ask a question on that. Why did you write that? Because though you have mentioned about an academic distinction which you received, but you had mentioned this first time I have also come across a mention. They may I think your answer should be, so I thought this is also an examination towards academic excellence. So since I achieved an All India rank of sufficiently high number, I mentioned that. You can just say that because it is not attached with any scholarship or any prize or any medal. Though, of course, you get a good reward by getting a job, but then that cannot be equated with medals or scholarships or prizes. Okay, right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now you play cricket and you're also playing chess. One is indoor, the other one is outdoor. And in chess, who is your favorite?
So sorry.
In chess, who is your favorite chess master and why?
Sir Vishwanathan Anand. I'll say because he maintains his cool. Whatever games of him that I have seen, he maintains his cool throughout his game, and even at the points where wherever he is at disadvantage, he is very confident and calm, and he sails through it very brilliantly. So that is the reason why I like him.
You said he maintains his cool all through. Can you name a player who never maintains his cool when he plays the chess game? Tantrums?
Sir, actually, there are many players whose game when I see, their reflection, their thought process is reflected on their face as their emotions. For example, whenever they have made some silly mistake, they'll show on their face that yes, they have made an error. Vishwanathan Anand, when you say he's very plain, he's very composed, and whenever he's playing, he never, as far what I have seen, he never makes any gesture that oh shit, what have I done? So that thing is for many players they reflect it on their faces, which is missing on his in his games.
But have you seen any chess player throwing tantrums?
No, sir, not tantrums as such.
In any other game, have you noticed? In cricket, in tennis?
So in cricket, many times you'll see this such small incidences whenever there is a wrong call from the umpire, or there are fights between two players because of the aggressive nature of the one. So there are incidences that you see, but they are healthy. They more or less they are healthy. They never underestimate the spirit of the game.
Oh, good. That's a good point which you brought out. You see, they throw tantrums. We cannot really call it a misbehavior.
Yes.
They are only giving vent to their bent up feelings, emotions, and bit of anger, though.
Yes, sir.
Though it should not be displayed, but then he's a player. He's a player.
Yeah.
So there is an instant and immediate reaction, and we also don't take it seriously.
Yes, sir.
In fact, you would have seen tennis players throwing the racket, but luckily they don't throw the racket at the umpire.
Yes, sir, definitely.
They only throw it at the ground. It's okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. At times they come out, and they're all young and they're very vibrant people. They just show their what shall I say? Disappointment maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one way of showing their disappointment.
Yes, sir. That is part and parcel of a game. So
yeah, one move probably has gone wrong. They are trying to show that. Okay. Also applied for a patent for your final year project. What was that about?
Sir, my final year project was a device that was attachable to the doors of your room. You attach that device on the latch of your room, and you can operate the latch with your mobile phone. So that was the basic purpose of that latch, that device.
I see. It's app-based? App-based.
Yes, sir. It is Android app-based.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So it is at what stage that getting that patent?
Our patent actually has been published, but we have not yet been granted the patent. Maybe it is in the reviewing phase of the patent office.
It's a long process. It takes time.
Sir.
It takes time. Okay, good. Now, the corona incident all over the country is not very good.
Yes.
What are all the limiting factors which government faces in containing corona?
Yes, sir. What I believe that first of all, the health infrastructure that we have, that has limited capacity. For example, the number of beds that we have, number of doctors that we have. So there is a limit to the number of patients that can be handled. That is the first limitation on the government. The second is that to take very strict measures, for example, the measures like lockdown or containment zone where the economic activities are closed. So there are concerns that the government is also working because of the finances. And when the finances of the public are affected, the finances of the government is affected as well. So the constraints of the government is there as well. And thirdly, the frontline workers, for example, the administrative services workers, the police workers, they also have a limited capacity because they're already dealing with the law and order problems. Now they are at work to monitor that whether people are following the COVID appropriate behavior or not. So there are limitations to the government machinery in the administrative field as well.
But you have forgotten something very important when I talked about the limitation.
Sir, the medications and the reach.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. That yes is a very important factor. The medications and the injections, for example, the Fabiflu and the remdesivir, they are also, the production capacity is also limited. Plus, we somewhere or the other we had to meet our obligations of being the supplier, since we are the largest. We are one of the major producers of the medicines and the vaccines globally. So we had obligations to our other countries as well. So yes, that was one of the restrictions on the government as well.
The other thing which has caused this limitation is, and we are not able to combat it very, very satisfactorily, is this incidence is highly unprecedented. See, never such an illness has taken
Yes, sir.
country on a pan-India basis.
Yes, sir.
Of any other disease affected India in this manner, that it affected the entire population, it affected the whole territory of India?
Sir, not very recently we have seen such problem. It was Nipah. Nipah started in 2018, but that was limited to Kerala because the Kerala health infrastructure was very good to combat it, and therefore it could not become an emergency on the India scale, health emergency on an India all India scale. But the Spanish flu, which was around the First World War, that was one of the things that affected India to the great extent. That was I think that was one of the major diseases that affected India on a large scale.
The Spanish flu, and also the you talked about Nipah virus, but also the flu, not flu, the plague. For example, the Surat plague, you talked about it. That also, but then we were able to contain it.
Yes.
Since the origin of the virus was isolated, and we were able to, but here we are not even able to isolate the virus. It spread so fast. And what are the vaccines available today in India?
Sir, at present we have two vaccines that are being administered. One is the Covishield and the other is the Covaxin. But we have given the clearance to Sputnik 5 of the Russia, and we are in the process of giving the clean sheet to Johnson and Johnson vaccine.
Now, it is because of the RNA of the virus, all these problems are there, they say. What do you think of that? Why this RNA is playing havoc?
Sir, I'm not very confident about the reason that the RNA virus is playing, but what I consider is that the mutation that is being caused in the virus, somewhere it is double mutated, somewhere it is triple mutated. So these mutations hamper the efficacy of the vaccines. So there cannot be a single vaccine which would cater to the demands of all the viruses, even the mutant version of the original virus. So that may be one of the factors.
You're an electrical engineer.
Yes, sir.
How do the ships operate in mid-sea? What energy they are driving and getting their power, and how do they manage to remain afloat?
Sir, sorry that I'm not aware about the how they derive energy. But if you allow, I may propose what I consider how they must be driven.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I feel that they must be operated by a diesel generator or something of that sort, because the diesel generator are easy to control, and plus the diesel generators provide us diesel engines. They provide a very strong pulling force, the starting torque. So that would be great help. And to keep them afloat, there is the principle of mechanics, that any body which displaces the equal amount of water, the basically the that the weight of the water displaced by the body, when it is equal to the weight of the original body, then the body keeps floating. So that is the basic principle how these boats, etc., they are designed, so that they keep afloat.
Is it a principle of mechanics or principle of buoyancy?
It's a principle of buoyant. Sorry.
What happened suddenly in Suez Canal? A ship got stranded in that place. What happened? Why it got stranded there? And what were its implications in the international arena?
Sir, actually, the Suez Canal, it is one of the major path, the connectivity path through which trade occurs in all over the world. So the width of the Suez Canal is not very large. One of our ships, that was a big ship, named Ever Given, it drifted and it occupied the entire width of the Suez Canal, blocking any other ship from either entering or escaping. So because of which the trade got hampered, as a large number of ships, they were in the queue, so that the original ship can be moved in a manner so that the passage can be created for the other ships. And the reason was that the entire economic impact on the other countries which depend on the trade route through Suez Canal, they were hampered negatively, sir.
Then finally, what happened? How did they salvage it, the situation?
Uh, Sorry, sir, I'm not aware, sir.
You didn't see how it was pulled out?
No, sir, I do not. Sorry.
You must see that video. It's all
Yeah.
available.
Yes, sir.
How
Definitely.
it got stranded and why it took time to get out, and how did they carry out the salvaging operations. Very, very interesting. You must try and see that. Okay.
Yes, sir, definitely.
You read about the new education policy.
Yes.
What are the highlights in that new education policy or national education policy?
The new education policy has many highlights. Some of the important ones that I feel, first is that they are focusing more on the vernacular language, teaching to vernacular languages. That has been made, that is being preferred till class 8th, but more importantly, till 5th, they are guaranteeing it that till 5th you should do it, till 8th it is optional. And the second thing is that a multiple entry and exit point in the undergraduate courses. The Bachelor of Education is also made 4-year course with multiple exit points. The same is in BTech and other undergraduate courses as well. Then, sir, the government has proposed to increase its expenditure to 6% of the GDP when it comes to education sector. Then, so based the evaluation of the student, apart from the academics, the teachers will be making a comprehensive analysis of the student, how the student is performing. Also, stress has been made on the emphasis has been made on the vocational training along with education. So it is not only curriculum based, but also the physical experiences the students will also be getting. The course has been remodified at 5+3+3+2 structure. So that is also one of the where the early childhood care has also been made a part of the proper formal education system.
How about,
Sorry, sir.
how about teacher education?
Sorry, sir, that I'm not able to get it.
There's a lot of emphasis on teacher education in the new education policy. It is not only the students, but teachers also have to have continuing refresher education. There's a lot of emphasis on that. You can try and read more on that.
Yes, definitely.
The railway is a very large organization, probably the largest organization in India. And you have multifaceted disciplines working under that organization. You have,
Yes.
you have civil constructions, you have electricity generation, you have huge manpower, human resources.
Yes.
And probably the world's largest network of railway lines. Then you have now the new dimension is added towards hospitality. They also run tourism specials. Do you think there is professionalization, very pakka way, the railway?
Sir, sorry, sir. What do
Do
I
you
could not.
think there is professionalization? Are they all professionalized by training, by recruitment, by training? Are they all professionalized to handle such multifarious jobs, people in the railways? What do you think?
Sir, the railways, yes, yes, the railway is a very large organization, and the portfolio of the railway is also very large. That, as you have said, but here at the railways, we are trained to perform all the duties. So whatever the particular person is doing in the railways, they are experienced in that, and they know how to do it well. So that what I feel is that professionalization, yes, that exists, but they're due to a large number of departments. The professionalization is limited to the department related work, and there is interdepartment knowledge is to somewhat extent it is very limited. So that hinders the overall efficiency of the organization.
See, you would have seen at your level, that is the engineer level and above. How about the subordinates, people below? Are they all trained? Are there adequate training schools, training institutes?
Sir, Indian Railways has almost 12 and a half lakh employees. So in order to provide training to all the 12 and a half lakh employees, it requires a very thorough training institutions. So yes, we are running short of the proper training at all the levels, but still the formal training, it is not being imparted from the bottom level to the top level. It is actually coming down. For example, we as engineers, we tell our juniors that this is how the things are to be done. This is how the things properly are done. So they in turn train the juniors, they in turn their subordinates, and this is how the things are done. So they might not be given formal institutional trainings, but yes, they are very aware of the nature of the job that they are doing, and how to do that in a great or at least in a manner in which the organization is run efficiently.
What is that called?
So the trickle down effect.
What is that called? There is a saying for that, you know. They are not trained formally, but as you said, we engineers, we tell the subordinates, do it this way, do it that way. What is that called? that type of training.
Trickle down effect?
Say again?
Trickle down effect?
No. There is a particular terminology and that's called on-the-job training.
Yes, sir. On-job training. Yes.
On-the-job training. So
yes.
you must use the correct terminology.
Yes.
You see, there will be questions on the railways since you are already working on the railways, and railways is a very interesting organization. It is, in fact, I am very impressed about railways all along. In fact, in the earlier days, I used to travel from my hometown is near Kanyakumari. I used to travel from Kanyakumari to Dibrugarh. Just imagine the distance, 2,400 kilometers.
It's very, very far, sir.
And those days, I used to sit in the train for 6 days, 5 nights.
Oh.
5 nights in the train, and total 6 days it used to take. I used to observe all along. You know, it used to go from Tamil Nadu to Andhra Pradesh to Orissa to West Bengal to Assam and Dibrugarh is the terminus. You can
yes.
I've always observed, I have a lot of so and they always rise up to the occasion. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, railway people.
So one of my friend happens to be posted in Dibrugarh as an assistant commissioner.
Okay.
He is 2018 batch, 2018 exam batch,
okay.
IAS officer, and he is posted in Dibrugarh at present.
Oh, right. You can see when you go to Dibrugarh, you can see Brahmaputra.
Yes, sir.
The width of Brahmaputra is 3 kilometers.
Oh.
Like a sea. You can't see the other end. It is 3 kilometers, you know, that is Brahmaputra. So there will be questions on the railways, and you can always say, I mean, in fact, I will always say good things only about the railways. Very rarely I have come across, they always rise up to the occasion, very well organized.
Yes,
sir. Yes, training part, they have schools. They have signal training school. They have electrical training school at the railway level, not at the divisional level.
Yes, sir.
Railway level, Southern Railway, Southeastern Railway, Northern Railway, Northern Frontier Railway. At railway level, yes, they have. But wherever it is not adequate, they always provide
on-job training.
Very systematic. Railway always believe in manuals. They have lot of manuals codified for human resources development, for engineering, for civil construction, for permanent lines, you know, all these things, they have a tremendous lot of documentation done, and very, very efficient organization. So there will be questions on the railways. Okay. Now the interview is over. We will go through your interview now, how you have performed, where you can improve. That thing I want to discuss. See, Prayagraj could be a question because hometown is Prayagraj and it is a sensitive subject.
Yes.
Controversy. Okay, the controversy may be political, but then you can always say that Prayagraj was history.
Yes.
Suddenly, it was changed into Allahabad about 500 years back, Akbar's time. And history was changed. Now we are only refreshing history. You should say that.
Yes.
Not changing history. So you have to be very careful when you talk about words. You should say that, sir, we have only refreshed history. We have not changed it. It may be renaming of the city, renaming of the place, so that the entire area is brought into focus. Earlier, only the city was brought into focus. Now, the moment you say Prayagraj, the entire area is brought into focus. We have only refreshed it.
Yes.
Suppose they do it for all places in the country. That was my question. There again, you can say, sir, wherever people's aspirations are there. See, there is always a demand. People want that change. It is not that the politician only wants change. People want the change. This can be in line with the aspirations of the people. So don't get into the controversy. Though I purposely asked you political implication, that is just to provoke you. I asked that question. So don't get into BJP or Congress or all these things. Never even mention those names.
Did my answer sound wrong or inclined towards
No,
any?
your answer was absolutely correct. Only thing is I want you to add certain, like this word, refresh.
Yes, sir.
Fresh history, people's aspiration. Sir,
Yes.
feel it is in line with people's aspiration. These 2 points you can add to this. Otherwise, your answer was correct. Then talking about RNA, DNA, you must read about that.
Yes.
This virus has got RNA, unlike us, we have the DNA. It is very easy to the DNA chain, but it is
Yes.
very difficult to read and study the RNA chain because it is only half.
Yes, sir.
So you have to double it.
Reverse transcriptions.
Reverse. RT-PCR, you know what is
Yes.
RT-PCR itself will indicate the history of that virus, the evolution of that virus.
Yes.
Of that virus, the characteristics of that virus. Try and find out what is this RT-PCR.
Yes, sir.
It is different from other viruses.
Yes.
Now, I asked you the limitations which the government is facing. As I said during our interaction, it is unprecedented. The whole thing is unprecedented. I mean, dimensions wise, it is much more than that Spanish flu, which affected the world. But then, if you look at that dimension, the sufferance of the world at that time is probably we are in India. It is that proportion. So,
yes.
no, we are. It's like a wartime effort. We are on war with the virus. It is as good as a battle. So everybody is committed. Human resources are committed, finance is committed, health infrastructure is committed. We have to keep on expanding it. We have to keep on deploying them. Everybody is stretched to the maximum. So you have covered all those points. So quite likely they will ask about this. And then the other thing is about the Suez Canal, because that is current affairs. An incident.
Yes.
And as I said, it is buoyancy. It is on the buoyancy principle. See that video.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what happened to that at that particular point of time? You remember the name of the ship?
So Ever Given.
Yes, Ever Given. And the name of the company?
Not sure, but Evergreen.
Evergreen. Yeah, these are interesting. You see, Ever Given and Evergreen. So they may ask a question as far as current affairs are concerned. New education policy, yes. The only point you missed out was teacher education. It is emphasis is given to both the teacher and the taught.
Yes.
More emphasis on the taught and equal emphasis on the teacher also, continuing education for the teacher.
Yes.
And yeah, well, about the sports, they could ask questions on cricket, and I'm sure you will be able to answer them very well. And chess, yes. And very important, your favorite player is Viswanathan Anand. You brought it out. And there could be a question on that. AR3 and AR20, which you scored. You can just say that since I achieved an academic excellence, I have indicated in that, though it doesn't carry any prize medals and scores.
Yes. Yes.
I thought it's an academic excellence which I achieved. I have mentioned it in that. If at all they ask.
Yes. Yes.
They should not feel that you are trumpeting your own.
Yes, sir. Yes.
This thing.
Not
So
boasting your achievements.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't give that feeling to them, sir. Since it is an academic excellence, I mentioned it
Yes.
in that. But still it doesn't carry any prize. Why did you? Sir, it may not carry any medals, scholarships, rewards, but then it gave me a better reward, my job.
Yes.
See, by telling that, you can make them laugh.
Yes, sir.
But you have to judge their mood. If the man is having a bad mood, you mentioned in that, then you just leave it. Academic.
Yes.
That, sir. But if you think, looking at his face, he is laughing like me, then you can always say, sir, I thought other than the medal or this thing, that excellence gave me a better reward, my job.
Yes.
Very good job. You can say that, and you can be very informal with them. Absolutely. You see, your personality comes out when you talk like that.
Yes.
Say Prayagraj, sir, it is aspirations of the people, and we are refreshing history.
Yes.
That means you are in time with the people.
Yeah, but one thing that I like to ask. So when I say that it is the aspiration of the people. So the cross question that arises is not all people wanted that.
Okay.
There was a certain section of people who wanted to continue with Allahabad.
Good. You raised that question. There is a proper answer.
And then when you answer this, suddenly another question comes, which says that you are taking it towards majoritarianism. You think that it's the majoritarianism that prevails.
I am coming to that. The answer is, sir, we are in a democratic setup. In the democracy, people's voice is important. Don't bring in majority, minority. Okay, avoid this word majority and minority. In a democracy, people's voice is important. And all these changes take place by a legislative process or a duly authorized administrative process. Everything is legal. So the question of some people not wanting it does not arise. Their aspirations are different. Fine. Government has taken everything into consideration. In a larger interest, which they would have issued a government order changing Allahabad into Prayagraj. And that government order would have said, I have not seen it, but it would have said, the governor is pleased to change the name from Allahabad to Prayagraj in public interest. See, this is how government functions. They always function in public interest. So if they say, no, Prayagraj was not liked by some group of people, they may not use the word minority, some group of people, because immediately it will come to Muslims or something the moment you say minority. So avoid that word from your side. Even if he says minority, say, yes, possible, sir, some people, but then in larger interest. See, when you say larger interest, it is not 100%.
Yes.
Tell me, what is larger interest? What could be the percentage to say it is larger interest? Anything above 51%.
Yes, definitely.
It is larger interest. It is majority, but don't use that word majority, minority, and all those things. Sir, this has been done in larger interest. Even though they had that aspiration, they let go along with people at large. In larger interest of the nation, we have to. Yes. It happens. Some people don't like it. Some people don't like it. New education policy. 10% of the people in the country don't like it. You mean yes. Drop it? No, 90% like it. 90% yes. like it. Let us say there are two political parties, A, B. A gets 51%. 49% B gets. You mean to say 51% should not form the government? No. all over the world. All over the world. It is anybody who has an edge. That 1% gives an edge. That should be your answer. You see, there will be a trap when they ask you a question. Not that they want to put you into a trap. No. By mistake, suppose he has used the word minority, don't immediately bring in Hindu, Muslim, this, that. This is a
Yes.
very sensitive subject. In an UPSC interview, try and avoid sensitive references. Sensitive references you must always avoid. And it is sensitive. Anything to do with religion, anything to do with caste, anything to do with political party discussion, try and avoid it. Put it in a very, very generic way. Okay. I think that is all. Another on your body language and all, you have a body language, good, keep it. But you should smile a bit more. You are smiling, I know. Keep smiling face, what I mean. Your whole structure is smiling, I notice. But that is not sufficient. Your this thing, because they are friends when they talk to you.
Yes.
In fact, you have appeared before the UPSC board. Were they hostile? Any one of them? Were they hostile?
No, sir. No, definitely not.
Be hostile. They are friendly. They want to see the best material. See, they want to select the best material. They are there. They are not there to reject you. They are there to select you,
Yes.
if possible. See, underline that word, if possible. And
Yes.
they want to select you. No, in fact, no member is sitting there to reject anybody. They don't want, they feel bad. If somebody, I have sat in the UPC, I know, I used to feel bad when somebody has not come up to the mark. But then it is a very friendly board. Talk to them. Use such a language which will be accepted by them. You know, it is that type of thing. Now, your interview, how was the time allocation? How much time did they ask you questions on concerning you, your personality, and how much on general subjects?
Sir, in the engineering service time?
Yeah, engineering services.
Actually, the chairman talked about my personal things, like where are you from, what are you doing, what are your plans next after leaving this room and all. So he was a person who was talking about the general stuff. The other three panel members who were there, they were mostly talking about the technical thing.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
He actually, Manoj Soni sir started off with the topic of the patent thing that you asked. So he started asking on patent. Then when he surrendered, the other member started from the patent.
Oh, okay, okay, technical.
So, yeah. So one round of interview, the first member, it ran completely on the patent thing and the project and this thing, and the other two, they were totally technical. For example, if you have to build an electric vehicle, what are the requirements, what are the parameters you'll consider, and all these things. So that was mostly technical interview.
Technical, okay. See, that patent, I forgot to mention, that's a very interesting area. If they ask about patent, completely on the patent, talk about it, because this is a device used universally by all people. It is affordable, highly usable. And if you take the economies of scale, it is very large.
Yes.
So it's a very good device, and people will be interested to know more about it. Yes. So just try and find out how much more time it is going to take to get your final IP clearance and all those things. And so that's an interesting area they are going to talk about. Now, about your personality, like the chairman asked you, what are you, where are you from, what, this, that, and all those things. Try and make a SWOT analysis about yourself, running into 3 minutes, not more than that. Write it down. Rehearse it, so that when you talk about yourself, you must use appropriate language.
Yes.
You should not search for words when we have to talk about yourself. You can even add in that, sir, my father worked in the engineering services. That gave me a lot of interest in engineering, especially railway electrical, this thing. That is how I joined this service. Will you feel bad to leave that service? Sir, I was very happy. Don't say, I will feel bad. You should say, sir, I was very happy getting into the railway service, especially on the electrical areas. But then this is more challenging. Again, another question, very repeated question. They keep asking, almost 60–70% of the people face this question. Why do you like the civil service? If you are in a bank job, why do you want to change over? If you are teaching, why do you want to come here? You are an engineer. Why a non-engineering job? But this is more challenging. I will be so close to the people. I will be in a short time, in a particular assignment, I will be able to provide maximum benefit to maximum number of people. Note, short time, maximum benefit to maximum number. This cannot happen anywhere else, in any other area. That can happen only in civil service. You must always give, sir, it is very challenging. And in a short time, I will be able to provide maximum benefit to maximum number of people. Give an example. They will ask. Drinking water, education, roads,
Yes.
agricultural inputs. You are a district officer or you are a SDM. In that area, you'll be able to provide so much. Let us say you're getting into a central service. Even there, you take the income tax officer. He will be able to provide so much relief on tax assessment. Man, so much revenue to the government. Excise, so much revenue to the government. Indian Trade Service, so much revenue and facilitation to the exporting community. Everywhere in the civil service, you are providing maximum benefit to maximum number of people in a given time, in a short time, not given time, in a short time, which is not there anywhere. That is why I want this change.
Yes.
So you do a SWOT analysis, prepare that. Next time when we have the next session, I would like to go through that. If you prepare it early, you can send it to me. You can obtain my email ID, send it to me. I'll have a look. We will polish that, keep it ready so that whatever questions they ask you about yourself, your personality, we will be able to talk from there, which will be rehearsed one.
Yes. Yes.
Wrong in giving a rehearsed answer, especially about yourself.
Yes.
Know about yourself 100%. There, I don't want anyone to fault. Like, for example, your hobbies, chess, cricket. How do you phrase it? Who is your best favorite player? You gave the answer. Cricket also, line up somebody. Why? Why he is your favorite player? And what is so special about him? You see, there are some players who have some mannerisms. Like Sachin Tendulkar, what is his mannerism? Some of them have very peculiar man. You can bring out that, then they will start laughing.
Yeah.
It is not his bowling or batting. Sir, I like him because of his mannerism. Who is that player who will always look at the sun when he enters the field? That's a player.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, some mannerism you must have. You see, these are peculiarities. Your answer should not be an ordinary answer.
Yes.
You understand my point? It should be a different answer. I mean, correct answer, but it should be a bit different. Sir, yes, he's a fantastic batsman, but I like his mannerism, the way he walks, the way he raises his bat. Anand, the way he moves, and then he's totally unruffled. You pointed out. Never. Let there be a lightning, thunder, he is not bothered.
Yes.
Whereas one or two players, they show their annoyance, they show their anger in their face. Tantrums they throw at times, some players in some games. See, that is a peculiarity, you must bring it out, which will show that you are a 360 degrees man. You're observing everything, what is going around.
Yes.
Well, you'll have to read a lot about that. You must see the video, this, that, and all. If there is a question, you must answer it absolutely correctly on that. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Especially that salvage operation.
Yes.
How it was salvaged.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Any other questions you have?
Sir, that might not be the most appropriate question, but as per your experience, so how would you rate my performance? What you've seen in the past half an hour?
Okay. For 275, I will give you 170, but I want you to score 200.
Okay. Okay, sir.
See, you have the capability. It is again the appropriate words.
Yes.
You have the capability. See, this is my assessment of current, but we will see. This is the first. When it's now your interview, we don't know the date and all those things. You have time. Like that, you keep the probable questions, what they ask. You already gone through the UPSC board.
Yes.
Think about it, write down the questions, write down the answer, rehearse it, and think whether it is the correct answer, whether
Yes.
it can be improved. Do that exercise now.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Try to read astrophysics, technology, new subjects and all. Now it is not required. What they want to know is only the fundamentals as far as your subject is concerned. But current affairs, they are very particular. What happened?
Yes.
What happened yesterday, even today morning at the time of interview, they will ask.
Yes. So I'll do that. I'll work on that.
Reading the newspapers, analyzing the events, analyzing the issues should be your forte. So just to prepare that on this. Okay?
Yes, yes, definitely. So can I have your email ID to send you the...
Please ask them. They will mail it to you.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
You're on WhatsApp with them, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
They will WhatsApp you because
Okay.
dot and all, you may miss it when I pronounce
Okay,
it.
okay, okay. No problem, sir. I'll
Give you, and then you share that with me. Okay?
Yes, 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 sir. Definitely.
SRIJAN, wish you all the best and see you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you.